Hi, this is Dr. Kimberley Linert, and you're listening to Incredible Life Creator Podcast. My guest today is Howard Chait. Howard Chait has a degree in psychology, license in massage therapy, and multiple certifications in healing modalities, including BioTouch, Jin Shin Jitsu, herbalism, and nutrition. He has had his own private practice in Phoenix for over 22 years and started and owned a wellness center in Scottsdale, Arizona with chiropractor and naturopath for over 8 years. Being an avid student of spirituality and religious studies for over 25 years, Howard brings his knowledge and insight into his conversation. Howard currently produces and hosts live inspirational music and motivational events in person and online weekly called Raise Your Vibration Events. You can see past replays and find out more at raiseyourvibrationevent.com. Welcome to the podcast, Howard.
Thanks, Kimberly. It's great to be here.
Yes, so why don't we start out by letting people know who you are. So where did you grow up, how you started out, how you got to be doing what you're doing today?
Okay, well, that's a lot of information to go over. So where do I start? I was born in upstate New York. My parents moved out to Arizona when I was 2, to Phoenix, and grew up in Phoenix, went to high school, was studying. I was born in a medical family. My father owned pharmacies here in Phoenix. So I was in this world of Western medicine. A lot of his friends were doctors. And I knew I wanted to get into the medical field. When I went to college, I went to University of Arizona, got down there, I was pre-med and got weeded out real quick with a biology class and realized, maybe I want to do something else in my life. So it took me about a year and I started taking some psychology classes and it really intrigued me. The mind really intrigued me, what I was learning, getting to learn about myself. And I started getting into psychology and studying psychology, changed my degree in psychology, and I had a minor in anthropology and sociology. So I like community and psychology and the whole thought of possibly one day going and doing an archaeological dig in Africa or something like that, that inspired me. And then it was about my senior year that I ended up getting really sick with mononucleosis, and I ended up getting chronic fatigue and panic attacks and anxiety, and it was like my whole system was shutting down and my health was going down and I didn't know what to do about it. So I ended up dropping out of college with my 1 year to go and ended up somehow meeting all these people and getting directed to Boulder, Colorado, which was a very spiritual healing community. And I had no idea that at the time what any of that was. And I started meeting all these people there that were very spiritual and into holistic health and nutrition. And I started getting better. And as I stayed there for a year. Throughout the year, I started getting healthier and healthier. And I decided I wanted to study nutrition and Western herbalism. And I got certified up there in that. And the Rocky Mountain for Botanical Studies was the name of the school. Great school. Got certified and ended up coming back to Phoenix and deciding, well, actually, then I went back down to Tucson and I found a community of people that were into a very light touch healing technique called BioTouch, which was a nonprofit organization. It still is. And they are based in Tucson, Arizona. And it was like I found my family. And I was like, oh, this is just exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, using my hands, using my knowledge of psychology and nutrition. And I got certified in BioTouch. And one thing led to another. I got licensed in massage therapy. And then I ended up coming back up to Phoenix and opening up a practice in psychology or in massage therapy and nutritional counseling and herbology, and ended up doing that for a couple of years and building a practice up in Phoenix, and then deciding I needed to close the circle, finish my psych degree. I went back to Tucson, finished my psychology degree, opened up a practice down there, got my bachelor's in psychology, and then after that, it was like one thing after another, and I realized how good of a businessman I am, and realized that I wanted to open up a wellness center. So a chiropractor friend of mine and I ended up opening up a place called the Healing Joint in Scottsdale, Arizona, and had naturopaths and other massage therapists working there, and still open to this day. I ended up selling it to him back in 2013. And I have my own practice doing Jinshin Jitsu, which was one of the techniques I also learned over the years, as well as getting more into wanting to have events. And I know a lot of people in the holistic field and a lot of musicians and a lot of motivational speakers. So I put together with a musical friend of mine named Todd Herzog last year here in Phoenix. We had a huge event, a live event with our first event. We had 4 speakers and 3 musicians, and ended up having over 150 people attend our first event live.
Beautiful.
It was beautiful at a resort here in Phoenix, the Point Hilton, nice place, and ended up going from there. And then I had a second event where our mutual friend Clifford Starks was one of the speakers, and that was a little smaller evening event. And then we were going to have a big event in May 2nd, and all of a sudden something called COVID-19 hit, and everything shut down, including our events. So took everything online, and now every Friday online we have online Raise Your Vibration. Actually, now we're going to every other week, but it's been every week, every Friday for the past 4 months. And it's a combination of speakers like you have, as well as musicians, and some exercises, meditations, and things like this. So it's been phenomenal. It's been exciting, and it's moving forward. And now I get to meet incredible people like yourself. And I've been interviewed on a lot of podcasts. And moving forward, this is definitely my purpose and my passion and the direction I'm moving. And we actually have created a big event on September 13th, which is going to be a 3-hour online event. And we have 4 speakers, 3 musicians, some well-known international speakers are going to be on. And this is where we are right now. Hopefully, eventually, again, we'll do live events. But right now, we're doing online. So
yeah, still very
live.
exciting. Very exciting.
Yeah, it is.
How
It's
this
very,
developed.
yeah, it's I'm grateful. It's fun. It's definitely one of my passions to be able to network and meet new people and be able to share and raise the vibration together and come in community, which is where I think we're all headed right now. Well, I know we are.
I think we are. I think you're seeing more and more people stepping up who would have been in the background or just, living their lives. And I see people stepping up all over the place.
Right. A lot.
So yeah, it's just wonderful to see. But I wanted to backtrack a little bit and ask you some questions about some of the things that you do, because a couple of them for sure were new to me. Of course, I'm a religious about my massages, so I know about massage therapy.
Right.
BioTouch. What is BioTouch? Is it like Reiki? What is it?
So that's a very common question. Yeah, everyone knows Reiki, which is an energy and Reiki is more of a kind of invoking symbols, and Japanese art, more about placing hands or even not touching the body, but around the body. Whereas BioTouch is a specific light touch technique with 2 fingers on each hand on a certain points on the body, a pattern of points. And it was created about 45 years ago by an engineer up in Colorado who just happened to come to him. Some lady at a party was pregnant and hemorrhaging, and he just got this message to touch certain points on her body after asking her, of course, and she stopped hemorrhaging. So he then started getting all these messages to write these points down. And there was a gentleman by the name of Paul Bucky who was up there in Colorado, heard of this guy that was doing this. Paul had a pain in his back and ended up going to this gentleman who fixed him. And Paul said, we've got to get this out to the world. So they started they created this technique called BioTouch, which It's very, very light, like a butterfly touch, and a sequence of 17 points. Like there's a stress point and a head point and a point for metabolism and the back. And it's very relaxing. And there's been a lot of studies at the University of Arizona on it. And they've shown just by these certain points compared to a placebo group, those who received BioTouch had higher levels of wellness, better sleep, all these optimal health. So yeah, it's great. So that really, like I said, that really got me started with the whole thing, and getting into the mind-body connection. Or since I love psychology, I realized, well, yeah, this connection. I see people when I'm touching them actually emotionally getting better.
Yeah.
So there's this connection going on. So BioTouch is also what the thing I love most about it is it's one of the few bodywork techniques that is a nonprofit. So the whole organization's been run as a nonprofit for 40 plus years now, which is amazing. And they have a center down in Tucson where people actually come and receive treatments for free or a donation. And it's run 6 days a week. So
that's really amazing and wonderful.
Yeah.
I have that for people. So is it just in Tucson then?
Well, they have practitioners around the world that are certified, and they do have a certification program. And it's online certification now with everything going on. So if it's okay, I could give their website.
That'd be great.
Okay, justtouch.com is their website. And you can go there and see all the classes they have and the certification programs. And so there are certified practitioners worldwide. There's people in Egypt, Australia, Israel, Europe. So it's big. It's not as huge as Reiki or anything like that, but it's grown quite a bit over the past 25 years I've been involved with it. So
that is wonderful to hear, and that it's all over, because we have guests on here from all over the world.
Yeah.
Yes. So
great.
As we were talking about community, my goal is to be, global to the whole community. As much
That's great.
as I love America, I still want to be like open and hear other people's opinions and how they're doing life. So
yeah, the beauty of the internet, right?
Yeah, for sure.
This
And
day
then
and age.
one other thing. So, and I was practicing saying this before I came on, and I still don't know if I got it right. Jinshin Jitsu.
Jinshin Jitsu. Yes.
Yeah. How are you using that? Or what is that?
So Jinshin Jitsu is another energy work, I guess you could call it. It's based on the acupuncture meridian system. It's more Japanese, and it's about feeling the pulses and getting a diagnosis of what's going on within the organs and the meridian system, and then knowing how to redirect the energy to start working for someone instead of against them. A lot of times when we have illness, disease, we have a block, just like acupuncture believes there's a block in the meridians. So we need to move that energy and redirect it. So it's not invoking anything. It's not putting energy into anyone like Reiki or anything like that. It's more just feeling the pulses, touching a sequence of points, not like BioTouch where it's like a light touch on each point. It's actually holding each point in a sequence for maybe a minute or two. And there's usually like 8 to 9, 10 different points that I hold for each organ or each emotion or meridian that opens it up. And then I feel the pulses again and then continue going until the energy starts redirecting. And what people feel mostly with that is release of tension in the nervous system. A lot of times their stomach will start gurgling, their liver will start working better. I've seen cancers go away, things like that over the years of doing this. But yeah, so
yeah.
So it's a phenomenal technique. It's not massage. It's not always about feel good. Some people come to me thinking, oh, I'm going to feel good. No, a lot of times people will leave and the next day they'll feel horrible. And then they'll say, what'd you do to me? And I'm like, no, I didn't do anything. It's just the body, when it starts to work for it's better, then it starts healing and detoxing and stuff starts coming out. And usually it goes away in a couple days. Some people feel better right away, others it takes a while. But it's just a restructure and a resettling of things. It's like a foot that's, waking up when a foot falls asleep and it starts waking up and it feels really weird.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes that happens and then usually it goes away.
That's really interesting. So you're kind of waking up the places that are sleeping in the body.
Yes. And not everyone likes it. So some people want to be asleep. What can I say? But most people like it, Usually I'll work out. I have had some clients that I've seen, 8 years now, every week for 8 years, just because they like to stay optimal health. It can work that way. And it actually was created originally by the guy who found it in Japan. Miro Jirai is his name. And he created it to work on himself and healed himself. So with the different points. So someone can work on themselves with it, or what I do is work on other people, and they would just to stay healthy and stay balanced.
So tell me more about the event that you're having, because I know you do a lot more than even the healing. You're doing just the name, Raise Your Vibration. So
yes, my shirt I'm wearing, Raise Your Vibration.
What is the purpose? What is raising your vibration? Yeah, show the shirt there.
Yeah, I'll show the shirt. I don't usually wear the shirt. So there we go. Raise your vibration.
Yes.
What's it about? Well, energy is vibration, right? So, study what Tesla's done or Einstein. It's all about energy and matter. And as we vibrate at a higher vibration, that means usually we have more energy and higher optimal health. So that's what it's about. And as I said, I started with a buddy of mine who is a musician, and I was actually doing Jin Shin Jitsu on him one day, and we were talking, and he wanted to get his name out there and more of his music out to the world. And I wanted to get more of my message out to the world and help others get their message out to the world, like you're doing, and motivational, inspirational speakers. So we created this event, Raise Your Vibration. And it's about coming together as a community and really inspiring and motivating each other to move forward, raise our vibration, and change the world, which is what we're doing right now, even though it looks like it's chaos out there. It's really not chaos. It's actually all, in my opinion, it's all organized. Everything's happening for a reason, even though it looks crazy. And we will get to a point, I'm an optimist, that we're going to get way beyond this. And this is going to be a planet of amazingness. It already is, but we're going to actually see more of that. So it's really a movement, raise your vibration of music and inspiration. And there's always music, because music raises our vibration. And the message of the music with the inspirational speaker, usually like with the live events, we match that together with a lot of the same message with the music and the speaker to create even more of a lasting change. This event on September 13th will be more of matching the music with the speaker, whereas the Friday events we've been doing have just been music and speaker. So it's going to be exciting. It's called the Extravaganza. Shine your light. So more about light. Yeah.
So I don't know if you know, but I'm a behavioral optometrist. So we're using the body, the emotions, and doing therapy. In light, I do light therapy with colors and frequencies. And so when you're talking about vibration and light, you're talking my language.
So that's interesting. So Jacob Lieberman?
Of course. Oh, okay. Yes, of course I do. I talk to him.
I have a story of him because I read his book like 20 years ago about light and the eyes, and I was okay. So this is part of the story I left off. Back about 15 years ago, after I had gotten into doing all this work, I had something that came up in my life that was a challenge for my eyes, and nothing was helping for it. I ended up, at the time, I was living part-time in Maui, Hawaii, of all places. I had a little
Where
condo there.
he lives, I think. I think he still
And
lives
that's
there.
where he was, right? So
Mhm.
I was actually seeing a chiropractor there who said, there's this guy I think you might want to meet. Gave me Jacob's number. He lives in Maui. And I had read his book prior. I knew who he was. And I was like, whoa, this is a small world. How cool is this? So he ended up giving me a therapy with blue light, and my eye got better.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, so for people who don't know, if you're not in this niche, Jacob Lieberman is known all over the world for doing therapy with light and color, and he's even invented some color treatments and some color machines, some different things. So
Yeah.
you went to the source and it worked for you.
Just so happened that that's what happened. And he was there. He was a nice guy. And yeah, he actually helped me out for, I don't think he charged me. From what I remember, it was 15 years ago, but yeah, it was out of the kindness of his heart.
Oh wow, that's so amazing. And yeah, colored light therapy and using light and light frequencies is just so powerful. I did vision therapy and light therapy on myself 26 years ago, and my eyes got better by like 8 steps. And then it's
Wow.
the same for the last 26. And just recently, one of my eyes actually started getting better. So I'm not gonna say how old I am, but I'm way over 40, and my eyes are getting better and better. And it's just
That's
from using the color and the light and having an efficient system. So having everything in the vibration that's um, beneficial for the person, but also just in that zone is what's going to make people heal more and more. And
for
so
sure.
you guys using music and then using the voice, the message. And now I saw something in your bio about meditation. Are you guys doing meditation during that?
Yes. So on Fridays, every online event ends with a 5-10 minute little meditation that we do, and usually the speaker will do a meditation. Sometimes we'll have a guest come in and do a meditation. And at the live events, we've done some 15-20 minute whole audience meditations. On this event on September 13th, we do have, actually, I believe Cliff might be doing it, some exercise. So Clifford Starks, and we might do a little bit more. But yeah, so yes, we do include that. Yeah. It's all, when you align yourself up with the universe or whatever you want to call it, with meditation, which is, I just call it like logging into the source, it's like logging into a website, right? Then that's what, so our purpose is when we feel passion and energy and inspiration to do what we're doing, and everything is effortless. It just happens naturally. People show up in our lives and we're living our purpose. It's just what we're supposed to be doing and who we are. So that's part of it. I could go more into it if you want me to.
Yeah. So how do you feel like you're living your purpose right now, and how are you doing that?
Yeah, I feel like with everything, especially with Razor Vibration, I mean, with the Jinshin Jitsu and the BioTouch, I have felt like I was on purpose, but not as much as with Razor Vibration. It just feels like with Razor Vibration, I can touch more of the world with the message to get it out to more people. So it feels great. It feels, it's like excitement to wake up every day and do this and help other people and help people get their message out there, because there are so many amazing speakers and musicians out there that want to get their message out there, as you know, but don't have a platform to do it.
Exactly.
So to create a platform for them, or don't know how to market themselves or whatever. So to create a platform where they can do that and really get their message out there, that just warms my heart and makes me feel like I'm on purpose every day. So I'm grateful, and gratitude for sure. Big part of it.
Yeah. And what kind of goals do you have for that or for your life?
What kind of goals do I have for that? Well, just you know, I'm like a person to not really set goals. I have visions, but I also live as much in the moment as I can. And meditation has helped me the most to really just be here now and see what opens up and be open to receiving whatever comes. So the vision I could say is, you know, I see Raise Your Vibration, you know, being worldwide and having events in Hawaii and an event in Australia and an event in New Zealand and, you know, and having a live event. But all of a sudden this online thing came, which I wasn't actually planning on. It wasn't a goal of mine, but now it's like, okay, I see it online, maybe bigger events, like thousands of people online and doing it that way. So that's what I see with it. Just getting, you know, and having more musicians and more speakers and being open to other sorts of connections, maybe creating wellness centers, you know, with that called Raise Your Vibration. You know, who knows where it's going to end up, but one day at a time.
Yeah, and the exciting thing about the internet is you can be everywhere at once. You can be in
Right.
every country at once.
Exactly.
What an amazing thing.
Yeah, it is.
So.
And there's so many, I mean, like I said, worldwide, there's so many people that are just so waiting for something like this for inspiration right now. I mean, so many. So to be able to bring it to them, how fabulous. Yeah.
That's true. And the internet, for most people, I mean, there's some third world countries, but for most people, the internet is accessible, and they can go and they can find things on the internet. Now, I'll never forget, this was years ago, so this will date me, but on the radio, they used to have this guy that came in on real late at night, and we talked really soft, and he would just tell these stories, but they were inspirational, but they were calm, and they were really set for people who were looking for something, probably the people who couldn't sleep. But his purpose was to actually, you know, inspire people and to help them feel better about themselves. And it was really purposeful what he did. And I'm thinking there's people out there looking for some kind of inspiration. There's people who are having a hard time getting out of bed.
For sure.
You're having a hard time. And if they turn this on and all of a sudden they're hearing all this positive information and music, just by listening, that's going to raise their vibration. It may help totally change their life.
Exactly. You pay attention as long as they just listen on some level in their consciousness. Then the intent is that they leave feeling more inspired and lifted. And the more we can bring that to them, the more people we bring that to, the more people get that, and the more change happens.
Exactly. And, you know, as people get into their higher vibration, they become more like their authentic self, or who they truly, truly are. And you want to talk about that?
Yeah, good question. Or, well, I mean, our true self is, again, us being authentic and real and being in our power. I mean, on today's Raise Your Vibration, it's interesting because this has been coming up all day, but today's speaker was Liza Harper, who was talking about empowerment, and mostly empowerment for women, because she is a coach for women, but men as well, all of us being in our power. And being in our power means being in our energy and being authentic and being real with each other. And for someone to get there, they need to really know, first of all, who they are and how do they get there? How do they actually get to their authentic self? Because some people feel they're authentic and think they're authentic, but blocks and things get in the way from them actually really being authentic, if you know what I mean. So being able to get past those blocks and those patternings that can bring us to our authentic self so we can be in our power is what authenticity is to me, at least. That's what I see.
Beautiful. So if people want to take advantage of the event on August 13th, they'll go to the raiseyourvibrationevent.com. Is that where that's posted?
Right. So it's September 13th is going to be the event.
September
But
13th.
yeah, no problem. So we have 5 weeks, 6 weeks, or whatever it is for. Right now we're in early bird prices on it. I think it's $15 for a general admission to get in and check it out. We're going to be going up on that on the 20th. But we have, raiseyourvibrationevent.com. They can go there, and there's a little promo video that explains what it is, and then they can click on the link and check it all out about all the speakers.
Mhm.
So, and Greg Reed, who is an international speaker and author, is our keynote speaker. Are you familiar with Greg Reed?
Yeah, actually, his story is in my book, the book I wrote, which is Visualizing Happiness in Every Area of Your Life. I interviewed
Okay.
him, and his story is in there. So I
Oh,
definitely.
great. Yeah, Greg's great. He actually, a friend of mine connected me with him, and immediately he was like, okay, I want to do it. So we're very grateful to have him on, and he's going to be the keynote speaker. He's talking probably for about 45 minutes, as well as Dr. Sharon Stills, Clifford Starks, Angel Marie Monticelli, who has her own podcast called the Shine On Movement, and Todd Herzog, who is a phenomenal musician. He's got 7 CDs. He does a lot of inspirational spiritual music, not religious, but spiritual music, heartfelt music. Cerise Patron, who has an angel voice, and she also, I believe, has a couple albums out, as well as Luke and Claire, who've been on our show. All of them have been on our shows in the past, except for Greg. So you can see all of them on the replays on that same website.
Oh, sounds like an
They're
awesome.
all there.
It's going to be so awesome.
Yeah, very exciting. So I love getting it out there and inspiring and seeing, people's lives change. So it's going to be fun. It already is.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for being on the podcast today and for sharing your event. And I'm excited to go and be part of that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, excited to have you, and hopefully you can come on to one of the Friday Raise Your Vibrations and talk about what you do. We'd love that.
Oh, thank you. I will.
So we'll have to talk more about that too, for sure.
Okay. So
sorry about my iPad dying there. That was unexpected. So hopefully this is okay.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll fix it.
Okay.
So one last question before we get off.
Yep.
What is your best advice on living an incredible, amazing life?
Boy, it's such a broad question. And one best advice is meditate. To me, for myself, that's the number one I've seen change almost everything I've done from day one when I started, when I was going through my chronic fatigue and my Epstein-Barr, mono, all that stuff. If I didn't learn meditation when I was living in Boulder, I don't think I'd be the same person. It just brought me to a place, like I said, of like logging on, connecting to source, and giving me messages and inspiration to move forward. And I've seen with a lot of my clients and a lot of people in general, when they start to meditate, which is ironic because a lot of people think that they can't meditate and they try to meditate and then they give up because they think that trying is too hard, and then they decide, oh, I can't meditate. But meditation is more about just sitting and listening. That's not the type of meditation I'm talking about. Mindfulness meditation, sitting in silence, even if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes in the morning and then before bed, and sitting, having the phone turned off, everything turned off, and listening to the messages coming, then that will help. And eventually, over time, that habit builds into daily life. So someone will feel inspired and in line and in tune with the universe and their higher self and their authentic self throughout the day. So that's my number one advice. meditation.
Thank you so much, and we'll talk
Well,
again soon.
all right, Kimberly, thank you.